What not to fix if you're thinking of selling your home. So the first thing I'm always going to recommend is that you have a professional agent who is active and working in the market come take a look at your home before you start making any repairs or corrections, painting, etc., because they're going to be able to put that to-do list into perspective for you. I do it all the time. After you have your agent come and put some things in perspective, that's going to really help you narrow down that to-do list. But here are a few things that you want to keep in mind as you're maybe making that to-do list to discuss with your agent. Wipe the slate clean of all those vanity fixes, things that you always wanted to do but never got around to. We always wanted to hang this fantastic chandelier, or maybe you wanted to put wallpaper in the bathroom. The new buyer's to-do list is probably going to look different than yours, and if it's just a cosmetic fix and it's not actually repairing something, you probably want to just leave that up to them. Determine if you're going to recoup the cost on the repairs or corrections or improvements that you're thinking of doing, because often you're not going to get the ROI from that item that you would hopefully get. So this is again where it goes back to having a good agent that's going to help you narrow that list down, because sometimes you really are going to get a great ROI from switching out your faucets, your lighting in your bathroom, or maybe putting a new coat of paint. If you're looking at retiling the whole bathroom or doing a total renovation of your kitchen just to sell, usually the ROI is not going to be there. Don't worry about items that are easy to remove, like curtain rods or blinds, things like that. Often just taking them down is going to be enough. You're not going to necessarily need to totally replace that whole situation. Doing a pre-inspection sometimes is nice. It gives you an idea of what sort of condition the kind of underpinnings of your home are. But if you know that you've always had an outlet that just never worked, you don't necessarily need to fix that before you sell. Odds are that's going to come up on an inspection anyway. And sometimes leaving those inspection items up to the potential buyer is going to be a better idea than fixing a list of 10 things before you sell, only for their inspector to come up with 10 more. Obviously, if there are major issues, you want to take care of those. You don't want to have faulty electrical, faulty plumbing, leaks, roof issues, things of that nature. If you can solve those before you put it on the market, solve them. And if you know that they're there before you put it on the market and you can't afford to solve them, you definitely need to disclose those to the buyer before you make that transaction happen. Finally, you probably don't need to repair cracks in your driveway, cracks in your sidewalks or patio, things like that, unless they are really, really big major deterrents or safety hazards. You are probably fine to leave those alone and just, as my father would say, leave it for the next guy. Hopefully those things help you as you're putting together that list before you talk to an agent. But don't forget, having a licensed agent who actually works in the market and knows what your market is doing, take a look at your home before you start making that list or making those improvements is going to make a huge difference. So make sure that you're not doing things that aren't going to give you a return on your investment, or that are just going to cost you a lot of work and not give you any money in return. As always, if you're in the Richmond area, I'd love to talk to you. I'm happy to come help you determine what things to tackle in your home. I don't care how well maintained or poorly maintained your home is, there is always going to be a list of things that are going to help you sell and market it better to get you the most amount of money, and that's what I'm here to do.